Viewer discretion is advised. Your fave will be criticized.
That's Jan.
That's Chris.
And welcome to CCTV, the nonstop pop show.
And today we're discussing G-I-DLE's latest comeback with Tomboy. And if you're wondering who we are, Chris and I have a huge range of experience in the music industry, from performing on stage to working at record labels, so we have a lot of insight into this crazy industry. Also, if you'd like to join us for our conversations, come join us on Patreon at patreon.com/cctvpops.
Yes. All right. So we're talking about G-I-DLE. This is the first time I think we're talking about them on our show.
Oh, true.
So do you like them? What's your thoughts?
I did meet them a few years back in 2018 by way of MJ from I Love Dance. Shout out to I Love Dance. But yeah, I got to dance with them, got to meet with them, and they're so sweet. And they're also really talented. And it's a shame about Soojin. I mean, she was nice to me. Shoot, she seemed very nice. I'm serious. I mean, she looked at me like, but I don't think her English was that good. So otherwise than that, she's really sweet. They're all really nice girls and they're talented. Like as a group, when they debuted, they didn't sound like everyone else, and no one sounded like them. And I mean, I've been listening to them from debut, even up into their track Hua, but I can't say like I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm not a huge fan, but I do like them. I haven't loved all the singles. Like I didn't love Hua, but Lion, that is a top tier girl group track. Yes, that one's so good. They did impress me on Queendom. I think that was the most time I spent with them where I actually kind of figured out who they were. Right. And Soyeon, true star. She is amazing. And so she just stands out regardless of whether the song is good or not. So it's a great to be that way because, there are just so many people in K-pop. So it's good to be someone who has that charisma.
Yeah, she definitely does have it. I think she's had it ever since Produce, Unpretty Rap Star. People were just like, yo, this kid is, she's scary, but like in the best way possible. But yes, after a year and a few months away, the girls are back with the album I Never Die. And the group has cited the words risky, chilled, and skilled as being the conceptual focal points for this project. Risky is noir, chill is cool, revenge squad style, and spoiled is a protagonist you can't hate even if it's arbitrary. And this is literally the script that they said when they were doing the showcase. So let's see if the song Tomboy is risky, chilled, or revenge style spoiled. We'll find out. And let's figure out if it's a bop or a flippity flop. Welcome to Is It Boppin'? Here we listen to the track and discuss the production, the lyrics, the video, and everything in between. So let's find out. Is it a bop or a flop?
So Tomboy was done by Jency, Pop Time, and of course, Soyeon. I believe both of those collaborators have worked on multiple G-I-DLE tracks previously. So it's great. She's kind of already found the team that, she works well with. So yeah, let's first talk about the song itself. What do you think of the production?
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I guess we're going for like a rock phase now here in pop, which is welcome because the whole 80s thing for the past 2 years has been a little uninspiring. I'm gonna be real here.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very happy the guitars are back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it sounds like a live guitar, at least a sample from Splice of someone else's live guitar. It doesn't sound like it was like a synth. Someone was like,
yeah.
I think the snaps during Minnie's part that become claps are subtle. I feel like if people were just listening and not really focusing and honing in on that part, you might miss it. But I think that's what makes the production really interesting, is that you have those snaps that turn into claps that then turn into this really tough drum when Soyeon starts rapping. And I love the distortion effect on the guitar. It makes it sound really gritty. And I guess they're using like a little preamp effect. So it's cute. It makes it sound a little bit more authentic and not so like, oh, we were on a synth and we just, it sounds more authentic, especially with the changing and usage of filters on the guitars and the other instruments. I have to say that the verses and the pre-hooks are probably more interesting instrumentally than the chorus. But maybe it was done purposely as to make the chorus sound more understated, and then make the last chorus pop more. But yeah, I feel like a post-chorus hook sound would have been fun. a little bit more fun to kind of have,
Yeah.
as opposed to just like, hey,
Yeah.
the chorus is done. Here's the second verse with awesome sounds. And I have to say that
Yeah.
the bridge bass line was fun, very familiar. If you catch my drift, yeah,
Yes. Very familiar. I wonder if they'll get, I don't know. I wonder if someone will come to them.
she's gotten in trouble already. Soyeon has gotten in trouble for citing inspiration from other artists. Like I think it was Hakuna Matata ATs. It was ATs. Point is, she got into a little bit of a kerfuffle with copying. So I'm hoping that she kind of stops using inspiration from other people so blatantly.
I mean, yeah,
This is very
it's
obvious.
not even inspiration. It's like the same chord progression. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll talk about the video in a second, but I also thought, I was like, did they get permission to use Barbies this way? Or maybe these are knockoff Barbies, but that can also be an issue. But anyway, we'll talk about the video later. Like you said, I'm excited about the rock thing, and it fits them. They've always been the kind of more kind of grittier girl group, so it makes sense that they would now go in the rock direction. My favorite part is definitely the way everything kind of pulls back in that pre-chorus. You really feel the build. And I think the chorus does deliver with the layers of the production. I think the actual chorus itself isn't that interesting, but the production is interesting. So maybe that's, I guess you're balancing that. Regarding the final chorus, though, I think it could have gone even harder.
Yeah.
And of course, this is just me again in line with the whole I love live bands thing, but it needed a guitar solo or something, even another layer on top to add to the intensity, or like more cymbals, or just, I don't know. It could have gone even more. But other than that, I think it was really fun. It makes sense with what's happening in music right now while still sounding like G-Idle. And I think that's, that they did a good job of that for sure. Going to the vocals, I will say G-Idle has always impressed me vocally. I think they do a great job with the attitude while keeping it dynamic, because there's always layers, especially in this chorus, right? You hear some of the lighter way of singing it, and then also like the sassier way of singing it with power, and you kind of hear all those layers over each other. So yeah, I appreciate that. And Soyeon, again, a star. We were talking earlier, she's literally the baby of CL and Hyuna, and I mean that in a great way, because we like both of those women. And so yeah, she kind of has that similar nasally push.
Oh my god,
and it's kind of fun to still hear that, because that's very like familiar to me, and like so yeah, it's kind of fun to hear that in new K-pop. And yeah, she's great cadence. She's awesome, and yeah, she definitely stood out, of course, to me. Yeah, what do you think of all the vocals?
Vocalists. So we have Minnie, who she usually does sing in this whispery tone, like she's kind of, that's where she sits. She was more laid back and cool with her delivery, but she wasn't too floaty. I will say that. And there's some vocal fry here or two in certain words that she would say, and I thought that was cool. And I think her verse sets the tone really well. It's very, I couldn't care less about your opinion. Like, yeah, you feel this way about me, but I'm okay, whatever. So yeah, of course, like you said, she has two parts with the rapping and vocals, and I think she's the one who kind of gives the song the pep in those certain sections. And of course, I mean, if I wrote the song, I would want my sections to be good too. I want everyone else's section to be good. But because she does have the same delivery that you mentioned, where it's very just in your face, very present, it just sounds like the best of the best parts, right? So and shout out to whoever was ad-libbing in that first verse when she was rapping. It could very well be her. It sounded very
I think it's her.
Yeah, she's again, she's an all-rounder. I respect that. I was just like, okay, whoever's going off in the back, and I listened to it some more. I was like, oh, it might be her going off in the back. But yes, so Mion, Yuki, and Shuha in the pre's are punchy enough to give it that rock edge, but it didn't sound like really delicate, because they do have not like those nasally kind of voices.
Yeah. They have much thicker tones, which balances really well with Soyeon. Yeah, I think whoever A&R'd and put them together, they have a really good balance of vocals in this group. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I think people are so used to hearing really nasally kind of deliveries that they don't think it's as powerful. I'm like, no, this is powerful. Like, if they wanted to give you a nice little solid, like, alto ranged belt, they could. But I have to say, even though Soojin wasn't there, I kind of sort of noticed when she wasn't. Like
Yeah.
Shuhwa was singing the parts I could see Soojin delivering, but Shuhwa did handle the parts as well as she could, so I appreciated that. But I have to say, honestly, the chorus just sounded like a jingle, a commercial, or like an ad to me. It was just like, Tomboy.
Mm.
That's not even the melody of it. Tomboy. Mama. How's it go?
That was definitely not it.
No, hang on, I'm gonna play it. Tomboy. It is so understated that it's almost boring. Again, it just sounds like if I was sitting there trying to figure out how to sync this with a commercial or something, it's easy. Oh, here's a product. I'm a tomboy. Here's a product. It just didn't give me anything really.
I mean, that's actually what I thought of Hua with the yeah, like I was like, but I actually disagree with you in this case. I think because the way the production builds and there's kind of so much going on in the back, I think it's a balance to that. And the hook just is them singing tomboy, like
I said that in my notes.
I actually think it works.
No, you're right. I said that in my notes. I was like, it might be for the understated thing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there wasn't any layer really that was like, even in their slower songs, or like the more, even with the vocals are layered. With the there's still layers. This one was just very much, it was a little anemic for me. I can understand that it's understated and it's definitely pushing that point where it's like I couldn't care less. I am this, I am that. Cool. But it just sounds aloof there when it gets to that point. Still attitude, but just girl smoking in the bathroom at that point for me.
Yeah. That's a good picture.
My bad. Sorry. I was laughing about the terrible version in my head. Yeah, it didn't do anything for me. But speaking of which, lack of lyrics there. The lyrics, what did you think about them? Because is not a lyric to me, or a good.
Yeah, I think overall the lyrics are fun. I think it's an interesting use of the word tomboy. I don't know if it really makes sense with how I think of tomboys, with the whole like I don't care about love and all that stuff. I don't equate that to a tomboy, but I get what they're going for. Especially towards the end when they sing about neither man nor woman. Like, that wow, very sense, progressive, very gender neutral. Good job. But I feel like if Soyeon was allowed to, she would go way harder and darker with these lyrics. Like, it felt like it was someone went in and was like, ooh, you need to not mention that. I don't know, like the attempts to mention cigarettes and whiskey, but like with no real meaning. So I don't know if it's just like, I'm trying to be cool, but I can only go so far because I'm a K-pop idol.
Right.
That's kind of what it felt like to me.
Sometimes we have that gripe with like with caffeine, and Yosub from Highlight, just like the caffeine. And he says caffeine instead, or apparently the song was supposed to be cocaine. You catch my drift? It was supposed to be that. Rumor has it that there was a demo version that was.
Oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, but we still have a gripe with it because it's just like when you listen to it, it's like meh, So
I'm just more annoyed by the grammar.
Oh yeah, just like that's not my favorite.
Which in this one also, can I just say the beat placement?
Oh yeah. Okay, hang on. We'll get to that in a second. But back to you saying about the whiskey thing. I don't know if it was much like, oh, she's getting censored as much as it's her just using random English, because she does have a tendency to do this. From what I've noticed.
But like cool words.
Yeah, hell yeah. She loves it.
Oh.
No
I said that in
offense.
quotes, FYI. Cool with quotes.
I think we can hear the quotes in your voice. But, but yeah, I mean, like I said, their lyrics are this is very on brand for them. The whole like not needing love is,
Right.
unapologetic and sassy, like or even some of their B-sides. But like I said, like you said, the English in this, since she has written some of them, they are strange. I mean, like Minnie, look at my toe. My ex's name is the tattoo. No, you don't put if she would have said hip, I would have been like, ooh, okay. If she would have said like, by my heart, ooh, okay. But no, she literally said, look on my toe, eat 'em tattoo. Like what? My ex eat 'em tattoo. I think I said it wrong, but like that's what I'm saying. And if Soyeon wrote it, like I
Mm,
know she's written it, that would kind of go back to the. But I respect
right.
you for saying, the man is holding her back. The man is
The
holding her
man.
back.
Oh,
Yeah,
like the company.
the cube, yeah.
Well, I don't know for sure. I don't
I
know. It
respect that.
just
No, I
I
respect that you said.
yeah. That's just. I mean, that's just what I would think. But maybe I'm giving her too much credit then.
Come on, the toe. Listen, I think it's a little bit of both. I could be right. I could be wrong.
Okay.
You could be right. You
Okay.
could be
Okay.
wrong. Who knows? Could be
All
both.
right.
Could be both.
Okay.
But yeah, speaking of which, I think it is a her thing trying to be cool because, like you said, with the bleep, the beep is very cool. It's like whoa, it's edgy, but the intonation in which it was delivered
Yeah,
is
they need someone who can speak English to fix this. You mentioned Yosop. I guess Cube maybe just needs. Well, I guess he was still in Cube at that point,
at the
wasn't he? Yes,
time.
he was.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they need like an English speaker consultant maybe just to make sure it works because this one, I'm beep tomboy.
yeah.
I personally thought that word was supposed to be, you know, about relations with the
Oh, like
tomboy.
I'm doing one.
Yeah.
I'm beeping the
Not
time.
because that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like a beep is a swear word. So like
Yeah.
if you're just beeping
Mhm.
a, like I'm a tomboy, which right, that's just
Oh
what it's supposed to
yeah,
be.
because it's just you can't hear
It
the
doesn't make any sense.
you can't hear the
It should
A.
be I'm a beep
Yeah.
tomboy.
Yeah, that A wasn't strong. That A needed some more oomph behind it. Like
Is
I'm
the
a
a actually there?
yeah, I'm a beep tomboy. You hear the
I
you
don't
hear the
know.
yeah, it's there, but it's just not it's as opposed to A. I'm a
I mean, that's okay, but it's okay. Then I blame the engineer that placed the beep. Then they don't really get to say. So.
I didn't notice the placement thing until you said so. Like I was just thinking
Oh,
like
really?
yeah, because I was thinking that SOB by GD back in the day. Kiss in na 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 na. He's saying the SOB la 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 la. It had a beep there, right? But it was in Korean, so we didn't know what it was. But a lot of Koreans were like, oh my god, he's saying seki, like son of
But
a.
this was not in
But
Korean.
that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why people. That's why I'm saying people may have not really cared that much. Like for us, we're just like, ooh, there's a beep. He's saying something wrong. But because we can
Okay, but
understand it, it's
but
like,
now
ooh.
with K-pop being so international, like
That don't
and
mean nothing.
you gotta fix that. You
That
gotta
don't
fix
mean
that.
nothing. Come on, we got Lisa on talking about we finna get in a. What did she say? You finna get in. She said some type of ebonic slang from the South, and we were just like, that don't make no damn sense why you said that. But
All right, so let's talk about the video. What did you think of the video?
we're having too much fun. Okay, so
Yeah.
the video was fun. It was very fun. I enjoyed the way they looked in the video. They are very pretty
Mhm.
girls, and they love to switch up their look every single time there's a comeback. I will say I feel so bad for Yuki for wearing that terrible bob for Hua, but now her hair is back and is pink. you don't you don't see her
Yeah,
Edna mode.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Like they gave
She
her
made
the
it work.
anyway, so she looked great. I mean, the video's not about her, it's about the whole group, but she looked great. I was like, okay, this light
Mhm.
hair is doing it, honey. And she was serving in the video too.
She
Um,
was killing it.
right? She's like, I'm gonna lay on the
Yeah.
car, I'm gonna give you body yaddy with my little body. She gave it to you. I love the red and the black. The storyline in the video is very simple, and there's not too many different scenes. Like you could definitely tell who had a full verse and who was just pre-choruses and stuff, like based on the scenes in the rooms. But that's one thing I'm kind of like, that kind of sucks. But I guess it helps with the momentum. I love Minnie's room; it's very gritty and pink. She has the pistol in the gift box with the kisses. And I love the camera
Yeah.
work for that part because it just looks like, you know, there's a surprise around every corner. Bam, bam, I'm dangerous. I'm not just a sweet girl. You know, I thought it was cute. And I liked her spotlight moments when she was in the dark in the room. And the transition with that giant crystal heart was cute too. Gave me very much Sailor Moon, but
Yes.
but with a gun. Soyeon in the Soyeon in the kitchen, it probably was like my favorite scene because there's so much like imagery there. Like I said, the girls who had pre-hooks had very quick scenes. Like Shuhwa was in a movie theater watching the Never Die trailer, like, I never
Right.
die. But it wasn't like, it didn't really stand out as like as part of the storyline, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to note they were all sharing the same lollipop in this video, and I was just like, what? But yeah, I was just like, okay, we sharing a lollipop, we throwing it on the ground, Soyeon's picking up the lollipop for the bridge, it was fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
oh, my bad.
Or you
Oh,
done?
yeah, so what do you
Okay, so yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
I have to say, when I saw that the concept was, or that the song was called Tomboy, I was like, ooh, Shuhua is gonna
be
find
able
this
to,
difficult. Because
yeah.
she's the one, she's the pretty one. She's the one
Mhm.
who always just kind of looks, I mean, they talk about not being a doll, but she kind of looks like a doll all the time,
Yeah, she does.
But I will give it to her. In the
Yeah.
music video, she does it. She pulls it off. There's attitude. I was quite impressed. So good job, Shuhua. But yeah, I will say, if I had never seen G-Idle before, like Soyeon is clearly just, she's clearly just the center and the star, and it's the rest of them are just there to be her gang,
a little bit,
and you could see that as a good thing or a bad thing. It's like Nicole Scherzinger with the Pussycat Dolls, they do still play a part, but it's hard not to watch her anytime she's on screen, so I think that, I wonder if that's tough for the other four, or if they're just happy to have her just kind of take the leads, which is interesting.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think I do not like Barbies. I don't like dolls really. So I didn't love how they were so prominent in this, but I get it. Based on the concept, so I did appreciate the use of it. I thought the whole sequence in the middle was funny.
Yes,
yeah,
he made her vengeance cake in the kitchen.
Yes, and I loved the Ken in the blender. Love that. That's such a funny idea. But yeah, I've been listening to Avril Lavigne a lot recently because she's back.
Yes.
So this song totally fits in. This whole aesthetic totally fits in. I think she would appreciate this video.
Totally, I agree. But I will say though, I wish the choreography for this video was a little bit stronger. Like she sells it, they sell it. They kind of go hard in certain parts, and then it doesn't really like stand out that much. Only because we recognize like the rock on hands. But for the point dance of Tomboy wasn't exactly like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say rock hands, it's one of those things where if you use it wrong, it takes away, it diminishes the coolness, and I don't think it was used well in this case. Like, it's used throughout the entire chorus.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's a little much. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I think with a song like this, so I did listen to the song before I watched any visuals just so I could absorb it. And what I was imagining was actually something really laid back, which I understand it's K-pop, so you're never going to get anything that's like super laid back.
Right.
But I think actually they did a good job with that overall, with kind of fitting the musicality of the song.
Yeah.
I just don't love some of the choices that were made. I think the most interesting parts to me, my favorite part was the outro.
Yeah, the outro was fun.
Where it's really simple. All they do is kind of just do a couple hip hits, and then
some hands here and there.
The walking back, and then just like the staggered posing, like in the row of the V formation. Cool. And then that final kick. So yeah, I enjoyed that. That actually reminded me of something that the Pussycat Dolls or a more Western group would do. Totally. I enjoyed that. I will say, so we watched the online showcase performance. While I said Shupa did great in the music video, she did
Oh
revert
shoot.
back to the
Yeah.
blank-faced kind of doll situation with the performance. So that's interesting. I think that kind of it's hard because again, okay, like I think Soyeon and Minnie and Yuki, they're giving it their all. They're
Yeah.
fully committed to what the song's about, and they
Right.
will give facials. The other two are you know, I don't know if this is the concept they would have preferred, you know?
Point
They
made.
very much seem like they would want to do something more feminine and cute.
Yeah. Yeah. More pink and
And
less punk.
yeah, but it's interesting because then vocally though, they are able to deliver the sass.
Good vocal
So I'm not
production,
sure what
perhaps.
happens in the studio versus on stage, you know. So I think
Mm,
that's interesting because
mhm.
in a group with Soyeon, you gotta pull up. You know,
Yeah.
you better
Yeah.
push so that you can match her level, and those two don't for me. And
Mm.
and Soojin did too,
Ye-
so
Yeah.
that's why I do miss her more from watching them perform. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think overall it was decent, but not
Yeah.
my favorite.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I think what you were saying about with Soojin being there, she was like their main dancer. I mean, even with the sense of just how she would place certain things, her body, her
Yeah.
this is just it's the difference between someone who's like, okay, it's my job to dance, so I'm going to be dancing, as opposed to someone who's like, I've been brought into this group to sing and I was taught to dance, so I'm doing what was taught to me. It's just very much like I'm going to do this as
Yes.
simply as possible. And beyond her face, you look at her body, it's like, oh, okay, I see you put your little hip up a little bit, or how she would tip her head at certain moments where no one else would be doing it. She would do things that
Mhm.
weren't choreographed. That's what I'm saying. But they honestly, I will say they have stepped it up because this was a little bit more like a mix of just hand stuff and a lot more like transitional things as opposed to like with Hua, they're just moving their hands like whoa 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 and just kind of swirling or like
It's too much. Not fan of that song.
I mean, it's not the most complicated choreography that they've had. I will say that. It's not the most complicated choreography that they've
Yeah.
had. Um,
Yeah.
like I said, they were clean to me, but no one really stood out. I did like the fact that they used the tomboy, they kind of thrusted at the last tomboy, like one of the last series tomboys.
Yes.
Things like that would have made
Yes.
sense. And also the hand
Yeah.
thing goes back to what I was saying about vocally. It doesn't go anywhere. So what else are you supposed to do with I'm a tomboy? I'm a tomboy. Yeah. In the ad libs, I'm still singing it wrong. Like it's just it's just uninspiring to me, and therefore the movement was uninspired. And I was just like, it's a rock song, so let's hit it on the nose. But yeah, I will say that I really did like the choreo from My Bag a lot more, even though it was
Oh,
not the title track.
yes.
I did appreciate the little body twerking.
Hmm. I was very impressed by that song, actually.
Yeah.
I need to listen to the album. I haven't done that yet, but
Yeah, I heard it's full of
mm,
the bunch of other songs that a lot of the other members have participated in. So it'll be nice to hear what Minnie wanted to write, with Yuki wanted to write, and I think Miyun had contributed something as well. But it'll be really nice to hear vocal tone and vocal production that is not just so young derivative, because sometimes that could
right.
become almost they'll get pigeonholed by that.
Yeah.
And I think they're starting to get to that point where it's like they need to start introducing more ideas, because like
Mm,
you said, they do sound like appendages of Soyeon, which isn't fair to them. They are all
yeah.
talented, but they do kind of start to sound like, oh yeah, this is how she would have sang it, like, or she could have sang it herself, but she's in a group, so you sing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall thoughts though, how do you feel about the song and the everything? What's your verdict?
Well, it's tough. I think I'll give it an 8.5.
Mm,
I actually like it.
mm,
I think it's better than Hua and Oh My God. I wouldn't say it's as good as some of the other singles, but
mm,
it's an improvement on that. And they've been gone for a while, so it's good
mhm,
that they came back with this. Um, I can definitely foresee this growing on me a lot as I keep listening to it.
mhm.
So yeah. What do you think? What would you rate it?
Uh, right now it's sitting at 7.5. Like you said, I might start to like it a little bit more, but just based on the stuff I've heard from them before and a lot of their other B sides, um, kind of just reiterates what I'm saying about they need to have different ideas coming in, because Soyeon's talented, but they need new ideas. They need more input outside of her beautiful brain, but they need a little bit more. So 7.5 for me right now.
All right, yes, let us know what you all think about this track and the rest of their album as well. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below or message us at CCTV Pops on all social media. You can also join the crew on Patreon at patreon.com/CCTV Pops. We'd love to talk to you, and you can help us decide our next episode topics as well. Please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. And for our listeners, give us a rating and review on your podcast platform of choice. We have to give a shout out to our crew members, Lisette and Lily. Thank you so much for being a part of our crew. You guys are awesome. And until next time, that's Jan.
That's Chris.
And we are CCTV.
Bye.